Hi, welcome to Teach With Me. I am Miss Jen. Today we are going to be recording a video about our next letter in our A to Z directed draw series. We are on the letter N and we are doing a nest today and then the writing that goes along with it. You will need a felt tip pen, printer paper, and crayons. Let's begin. Okay, this is one of those that looks harder than it is. This one's actually pretty easy to draw. What you're going to do is make sure your kids have their papers horizontal because this goes in a book that we are making. We're putting all of the A to Z books, directed draws with the writing together in one book when we're finished. So make sure their papers are oriented the correct way. All right, so tell them to find the middle of their paper and say, boys and girls, we're going to make a circle. The bigger your circle, the bigger your nest is. The smaller your circle, the smaller your nest is. I'm going to tell them once you have your circle, we're going to go outside the circle. And remember, you have them watch you do it first. We're going to make sort of wavy lines all the way around. These can be any kind of wavy lines that kids want to do, because this is just meant to represent the nest, which is made with lots of different things. So you're going to have kids say to you right now, oh, this looks like a lion's head, or this looks like a sun, or this looks like a fried egg. You're going to just say, yep, sure does. Now in the center of this we are going to make some eggs. Let me show you my sample. Notice how the eggs are sort of on top of each other. That's what I want it to look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, boys and girls, touch the edge of the inside of the nest, and we're just going to make a curved line and touch it back to the edge. These are meant to look like the eggs are near one another, on top of one another. So then I'm going to have them come to since I made this one kind of small, I'm going to have them come over to the side a little bit, and I'm going to have them make another one just like what we just did. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an egg that looks like it's underneath, and so how you do that is you just simply make a curved line from the two eggs and do it the opposite way on the other side. Now I'm going to make another egg over here, and I'm going to take a curved line and make sort of a partial circle and touch this egg, and I'm going to do one more egg. You can make a full egg if you want. I just kind of like how this looks, so I'm going to make mine like that. All right, so this part's done, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to make the branch. I'm making the branch diagonally. That means the wider part's going to be on the bottom part, and the end of the branch, which is always thinner, will be on the opposite diagonal. So I'm going to tell the boys and girls, find the bottom corner, the bottom right corner, put your finger there. I'm going to say that's where we're going to make our branch go. So watch this. On one part of the nest, I'm going to make sort of a line that goes outward a little bit, and it's going to go on the opposite side of this corner. And then I'm going to make another one, and it's going to go on the other side of the corner. You see how I did that? And then they have to watch me first before I let them do it. I'm going to put a few little lines here just to kind of represent the tree bark. Then I'm going to come up to this corner, and I'm going to say we're going to do the same thing we just did down here, except it's going to be thinner. So I'm going to say let's make a line that starts at the nest and goes to near that corner, and we're going to do it on the opposite side as well. Make a few little curves to represent tree bark, and then on this side we're going to make some, you can even do this one thinner if you want to. We're going to make some leaves just to give a little pop of color in here and to show that it's on a tree, and they are just simply a curve and an opposite curve with a line in the center. All right, now that is our entire picture. I'm going to show you how I colored it. Notice I use my shading crayon, my handy dandy shading crayon, which is simply a broken crayon that's been repurposed to be able to color the background. You're going to do your nest. I did my nest in brown and yellow kind of mixed together because I wanted it to stand out a little bit from the tree so that it wasn't all brown. You can do it all brown if you want. You can do it all yellow if you want. I just try to do it a little artistically, and I mean, it may look like a mess to you, but I like it. Inside the nest, I made the nest a little bit darker because we're going to assume it's kind of in shadow. So I did the nest a little bit more brown and the outside of the nest a little bit more yellow. All right, so now we're going to work on the writing. Okay, so now we're doing the writing that goes along with our picture. And the writing is 3 sentences. I always do the same format. At the beginning, we have 3 sentences. The first one is the letter that we're doing plus the picture that we're drawing. So N is for nest. The second one is another detail about the nest. And the third one is an interesting fact that I turn into a question. Now, the reason I do it in different colors is so that they can visually see, oh, I'm done with this sentence, I'm ready for the next sentence. That if they have a period for this one, then they know that the next letter is going to be an uppercase letter. I also do this because this is up on the board, and when it's up on the board, it can be a little bit hard for the kids to discern where they're at. They can easily lose their page or their place. All right, so how we do this, I'm going to do this with you. I'm also looking, by the way, to make sure that the boys and girls are forming their letters correctly, that they're writing their sight words correctly, that they're putting proper punctuation, that they're doing capitalization where it goes, that they're able to go left to right, that they understand where sentences begin. Now, if you want to see my progression for how I got to this point, you have to kind of go back to the beginning of the videos. I started at A, we are now on N. And so one of the things that I introduced in the previous couple of videos is where to put a sentence if you still have space, where to put it on your paper. When I first started these, I had a frame that they used, they could trace. I also had these on different lines, so the blue sentence was on its own line, the black sentence and the red sentence would have been on their own lines. But now we are learning to use up that space that we still have. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show you what I would do if they made a mistake. So I'm going to do this in pencil right now and kind of walk you through it. So I'm going to say, all right, boys and girls, let's write our black sentence. N is for nest. And I'm going to say, good job. You finished your black sentence. You're now ready to do your blue sentence. Let's read it. Now, if they have trouble looking at this, and they're just having a lot of trouble looking up at the board and then looking back at their paper to transfer the word, then write it on a piece of paper in front of them and let them look at that. All right. But by this point in the year, it's probably getting easier for them. A nest is where birds lay eggs. Okay, I'm going to say, you know what? I still have room here. So do you think I'm going to start my next sentence here or here? And they'll say here. Now, by this point, they should. And I'm going to go ahead and have them write it. And at some point, I'm going to make a little mistake here and show you what I would say. Is where birds, I'm saying, oh, let's look at that real quick. What is different between yours and mine? What did we forget? And I'm going to be pointing because I want them to I'm not asking them to get to a frustration point. I want them to see. And so they'll tell me, oh, I didn't put a space. I'm saying, okay, let's erase that and make sure we put our finger space. Good job. Oh, that looks so good. And then they're gonna, this is not meant to be a gotcha moment. We are not trying to catch kids making mistakes. What we're trying to do is reinforce those good habits that they are learning and catch the other ones before they become habits. All right, so I'm gonna say, You finished your blue sentence. Now look at this one. We have a long red sentence. It says, did you know a bird can use twigs, fluff, fabric, and grass to make a nest? Did you know that? And then I'm going to say, look at all of these things. Now I've introduced commas before to the boys and girls in a couple videos ago for description words, when you have a list of describing words. And I'm going to say, look, we have a list of words again. We have commas in here too. So we have to make sure we remember to put those commas. And as they do it, I'm going to remind them. Also, I'm going to, if this is too much, if the boys and girls can't look at this big of a sentence, because this is the biggest one I've done up to this point, then I'm going to either write it on a piece of paper and cover up the part that they're not on, or they're going to cross off the words on that piece of paper as they do it so they can figure out where they're at. All right, it can be different for every student which way works. You can also put those magnetic sentence strips up on the board and cover up the parts of the sentence that they're not on, kind of like this. And then you move it down when they're ready to move on. All right, so anyway, I'm going to say boys and girls. We're going to start right here because we still have space. Do I have space to write another word? I think I do. I'm going to write that. I want to make sure I don't go off the lines though, and I didn't. So now we did you, so now we're on no. Did you know a bird? And I'll keep reading this out loud to them as they're doing it. I'll be going around to each student and I'll be saying, yours says, did you know a bird? Good job. What's your next word? Can. And then I'll go to the next person. Did you know a bird can use twigs? Oh, don't forget your comma. Like, that's what you're doing. You're going from student to student and you just are on. You are looking for those errors. You're looking for areas to praise. And that's just what you do. This is a constant thing. This is an ongoing thing. It cannot be a one and done, or it's not going to make any difference. It has to be constant. All right, twigs, comma. What else do they use? Oh, they use fluff. What's fluff, Miss Jen? And I'll kind of explain what fluff is. Like a cotton ball, things that fly in the outside in the windy days. They grab that and put it in their nest. So you'd be surprised. This is just kind of a fun thing to do with students too, because even though it's a lot of work, it really gets them thinking and they're engaged when we do these different directed draws. All right, to make a nest, and they'll say, oh, I'm done, Miss Jen, and I'll say, was there a punctuation? What goes at the end? Oh, a question mark. Good job. I don't know if you can tell, but I love directed draws. I love the writing that goes with it. I think these are so good for following directions, listening skills, fine motor skills, print awareness, print concepts with letter penmanship. All of this is so helpful, and if you do it consistently, it's going to really help the boys and girls. All right, let me show you my t-shirt today. Today my t-shirt says, this teacher loves Jesus and prays for her students, and that is true. All right, well, if you found this content helpful, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time.